Jackson wiped the sweat from his brow as he adjusted the atmospheric processor in the medical bay. The Harmony, humanity's first diplomatic vessel, had been drifting in the neutral zone for 3 days now, waiting for the Zephyrian Royal Fleet to arrive. As the ship's chief medical technician, Jackson had spent most of that time ensuring their primitive human medical equipment could at least provide basic care to their alien guests. "Jackson, they're here," Lily's voice crackled through the comm system. As the ship's xenobiologist, she had been preparing for this moment for months. The Zephyrians were humanity's first contact with a truly advanced alien civilization, and this meeting would determine whether Earth joined the galactic community or remained isolated. The docking bay filled with an ethereal blue light as the Zephyrian shuttle connected. Jackson watched through the observation window as beings of impossible grace emerged. They stood nearly 8 feet tall, their translucent skin shimmering with patterns that seemed to shift with their emotions. Their leader, who Jackson assumed was the king, moved with regal bearing despite the obvious distress radiating from his bioluminescent markings. Behind him, carried on a floating medical platform, lay a smaller figure. Even through the observation window, Jackson could see she was dying. Her skin had lost its shimmer, appearing almost gray, and the patterns that should have danced across her form were barely visible. "Princess Zarathel," Lily whispered, reading from her datapad. "She's their youngest daughter. According to the preliminary reports, she contracted some kind of neural degenerative disease. Their own medical technology can't help her anymore." Jackson's heart sank. If the most advanced medical civilization in the galaxy couldn't save her, what hope did humanity's crude instruments have? He had studied the Zephyrian physiology files Lily had compiled, but theoretical knowledge was vastly different from practical application. The royal procession entered the medical bay with solemn dignity. King Veltar's voice resonated with harmonics that Jackson's universal translator struggled to process. "Humans of Earth, we come not as supplicants but as those who have exhausted all possibilities. Our daughter dies, and with her, perhaps the last hope for our species' genetic diversity." Jackson stepped forward, his hands trembling slightly. "Your Majesty, we'll do everything we can, but our medical technology is primitive compared to yours." The king's bioluminescent patterns, shifted to what Jackson had learned, indicated acceptance of harsh truth. "We understand, but your species has something ours lost millennia ago in our pursuit of technological perfection." "What's that?" Lily asked, moving to Jackson's side. "Instinct. The ability to heal with more than just instruments." Jackson approached the medical platform where Princess Zarathel lay motionless. Up close he could see the delicate beauty of her features, so alien yet somehow familiar. Her breathing was shallow, and the faint patterns on her skin flickered like dying stars. "The neural pathways are completely disrupted," Jackson murmured, studying the readings on his scanner. "It's like her entire nervous system is shutting down sector by sector." He moved around the platform, checking different angles with his instruments, when his foot caught on a power cable. Stumbling forward, he reached out to steady himself and accidentally placed his palm directly on the princess's forehead. The effect was instantaneous. A collective gasp echoed through the medical bay as Princess Zarathel's skin suddenly blazed with brilliant patterns. The gray pallor vanished, replaced by waves of silver and gold that cascaded across her form like living aurora. Her eyes snapped open, revealing irises that swirled with the same mesmerizing patterns. Jackson jerked his hand back, stunned. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." "Don't move away," King Veltar commanded, his own patterns now pulsing with excitement. "What did you do?" "Nothing," Jackson stammered. "I just touched her." The princess slowly sat up, her movements growing stronger by the second. She looked at Jackson with wonder, then spoke in a voice like crystal chimes. "The warmth," she whispered. "I felt such warmth." Lily was frantically scanning both Jackson and the princess with every instrument available. "Jackson, your bioelectric field, it's completely different from what we mapped before. And Princess, your neural activity is not just restored, it's enhanced beyond previous baselines." King Veltar approached Jackson with reverence. "Your species, you are natural healers. We had theorized about biological empathy, but we believed it was myth." "I don't understand," Jackson said, still staring at his own hands. The princess swung her legs over the side of the platform, her movements graceful and strong. "Your people evolved with tactile healing abilities. Physical contact, emotional connection. These create bioelectric resonance fields that can repair neural damage at the quantum level. But why didn't our own medical scans detect this? Lily asked. Because, the king explained, his patterns now showing deep respect. Your species developed this ability as a survival mechanism. It only activates in the presence of those who are truly dying, and only when the healer acts without conscious intent. Pure instinct driven by compassion. Jackson looked around the medical bay, where the entire Zephyrian delegation was now bowing deeply. This doesn't make sense. Humans can't just heal people by touching them. Can't you? Princess Zarathel smiled, and Jackson realized that her patterns had synchronized somewhat with his own heartbeat. Your medical records show remarkable recovery rates when patients receive what you call human touch, skin contact, emotional support. You attributed it to psychology, but it was always more. Over the following hours, as news of the miraculous healing spread throughout both fleets, Jackson found himself at the center of a revelation that would reshape humanity's place in the galaxy. The Zephyrians, it turned out, were not the only species to have lost their natural healing abilities in favor of technological advancement. We offer you full membership in the Galactic Medical Consortium, King Veltar announced formally. Not as junior partners, but as teachers. Your people possess something we desperately need to relearn. Jackson looked at Lily, who was practically glowing with excitement over the xenobiological implications. Then he looked at Princess Zarathel, whose patterns now showed complete health and something else. Gratitude mixed with curiosity about the strange human who had saved her life with nothing but an accidental touch. I think, Jackson said slowly, humanity just found its purpose among the stars. As the two fleets prepared to depart for Earth together, Jackson realized that sometimes the most advanced civilizations needed to be reminded of the most basic truth. Healing began not with technology, but with the simple act of reaching out to touch another living being with compassion. The galaxy was about to learn what humans had always known in their hearts, that sometimes the most powerful medicine was simply being human.